The story begins in the Zunchen continent, heavenly spiritual domain, Dongsing Kingdom. It's the heavenly demonic sect Empress wedding day, and the ceremony is about to begin. Host welcome all the guests, asking them to take their seats. They welcome Sir Zhang and Master Liu, saying it's good to see them. Sometimes later they asking everyone to come in. In the wedding room, Dongsing Kingdom's third prince, Lin Xiaoyao, attends the emperor's wedding. He is an Earth King realm cultivator. People are delighted to see the third prince, saying, "That's Lin Xiaoyao, the third prince of the kingdom. He's so talented." They hear he is already a master of the Earth King realm at such a young age. However, another man remarks, compared to the Empress Immortal Emperor realm, it's still far behind. In the Xuanchen continent, there are 9 warrior realms: Warrior Realm, Black Warrior Realm, Spiritual Realm, Earth King Realm, Sky King Realm, Celestial Realm, Immortal Emperor Realm, Demigod Realm, and God Realm. But people are saying that it's still better than Ning Tian, the loser who has been working here for 3 years and is still a 1-star warrior. They can't figure out why the Empress, who has both beauty and power, could choose him as her husband. Another man says to him, "Keep your voice down. If you dare criticize the Empress husband, you will get killed." In the same moment, in the heavenly demonic sect Empress residence, our main character, Ning Tian, is saying that he never thought he, Ning Tian, would turn into a time traveler one day and travel to a cultivation world. But he is still a 1-star warrior after working as a handyman for the sect for 3 years, and he thinks that he is a complete waste. A loser like him is actually going to marry the Empress of the sect today. Isn't that messed up? Suddenly, someone knocks on the door. The one who is knocking is the Empress of the sect, Luo Wuking. She asks Ning Tian if he is awake and gets straight to the point, telling him that this wedding is just for show. After hearing her words, Ning Tian is really surprised. But she doesn't stop there. She also adds that if Ning Tian dares to have any dirty thoughts about her, he shouldn't blame her for being cruel. Ning Tian wonders if she is joking with him. He is so miserable, and even his marriage is a lie. Suddenly, a window pops up, saying, "Congratulations to the host for the activation of the shocking system." Ning Tian thinks that with the system, he can get rid of his horrible status and change his destiny. So, he asks the system to explain how to use it. However, the system doesn't reply. He asks many times, "System, how do I use this?" But still, there's no response. In the meantime, Emperor Luo Wuking asks Ning Tian if he heard him or not. With a frustrated face, Ning Tian says to Luo Wuking in a loud voice, "Shut up. He is busy right now." Luo Wuking doesn't like it and releases her energy, asking Ning Tian what he said. Ning Tian thinks he's finished and realizes he forgot she was there. He tries to explain, but before he says anything, suddenly the system window pops up, saying, "Congratulations to the host for completing your first shock. Your reward is an aura suppression skill, which can suppress the opponent's aura for 3 hours. After seeing this, Ning Tian thinks, so this is how it works. Is this the reward for scolding her? He decides to stay calm, considering the huge status gap. Yet, she wants to have a fake marriage with him. There must be something she wants from him. Ning Tian thinks that this woman would not kill him that easily before getting what she wants. He can definitely take advantage of this time to get more rewards. He comes close to Empress Luo Wuking and says, "I'm your husband. Do you have any objections to me talking to you like this?" The system congratulates the host for completing an ordinary shock, so he gets a Kai blood pill as a reward. With the Kai blood pill, he can adjust his meridians and restore his physique. Ning Tian is really happy, saying it's exactly as he thought. He has to strike while the iron is hot. He also tells the Empress that since they're husband and wife, shouldn't they do what couples do? After hearing Ning Tian's words, Empress Luo Wuking is not happy. She releases her power and asks Ning Tian what did he just say. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, congratulating him for completing an intermediate shock. His Kai blood pill was automatically taken, his meridians repaired, and he underwent the awakening of God rank 10-fold cultivation. After learning God rank 10-fold cultivation, he can absorb 10 times the spiritual energy per second. His martial arts understanding increased by 10-fold, and his cultivation skill also progressed 10-fold. He thinks that he doesn't have to be trash anymore. While he's thinking this, Empress Luo Wuking starts attacking him, asking if he has a death wish. After her attack, Ning Tian falls to the ground, thinking it seems like it's too much. Empress Luo Wuking sits on Ning Tian's chest and asks how he wishes to die. Ning Tian thinks if he doesn't do anything, she will really kill him. So, he asks the system to activate his aura suppression skill. After this, Empress Luo Wuking starts losing her power, asking why did his aura suddenly disappear. It doesn't work. Before she says something more, his body can't handle more, and she falls into a deep sleep. Ning Tian feels relief, thinking if he didn't use his skill on time, he almost died. Fortunately, the rewards given by the system worked, but they only have 3 hours. Even if Ning Tian runs, he won't be able to get far. When the time comes, he will die for sure, so he decides to fight. He gets the Empress on the bed, thinking at least he could find some pleasure while being in danger. He says to the Empress, "Let me give you another great shock," and shocks the Empress of the heavenly demonic sect. 3 hours later, he stands in front of the window, drinking tea, and says to the Empress, "What is done is done. It's too late to kill me now, it won't help you. I am still useful to you anyways." The Empress, who is lying on the bed after everything happens, is thinking she has to be patient. If she kills him now, she won't get the heavenly demonic manual, and there will be no way for the sect to rise again. She asks Ning Tian to come to the palace in the evening, and the wedding ceremony will be held. After saying that, she leaves Ning Tian's room. At the same time, Ning Tian takes a sigh of relief, thinking he is still useful to her. He is really crazy to dare treat her like this. The system congratulates Ning Tian for completing the shocking the whole world, and he gets 10 years of cultivation as a reward. After this, Ning Tian starts breaking through to the 2-star warrior realm, 3-star warrior realm, and 4-star warrior realm. A cultivation level that would take decades to achieve is actually reached in a flash. His realm is increasing rapidly. After 1 hour, he breaks through to the 6-star black warrior realm, and the system activates his attribute panel. He can view his attributes in the panel, and his promotion is finally over. In the system panel, we can see his information. Host, Ning Tian. Strength, 6-star black warrior. Physique, ghoulie physique. Skills, none. Cultivation methods, 10-fold. Cultivation. Martial arts comprehension, 10-fold comprehension. Aura absorption, 10-fold absorption. Suddenly, he noticed he has a godly physique, so he asks the system what a godly physique is and to explain it to him. However, the system doesn't respond. He says, forget it. If the system won't answer anyways, now he has the means to counterattack in this world. No matter how useless he has become, he is not going to be like that now. So what if his wife is an empress? One day he will show them all. I, Ning Tian, am also capable and strong enough to stand on top of the world. After saying that, he leaves his room. In the evening at the heavenly demonic palace, people are gathering to attend the Empress's wedding. They say that she is the 8th generation leader of the heavenly demonic sect, Empress Luo Wuking. They are really surprised to see him and say, is this the pressure of a person in the immortal emperor realm? Their legs are shaking because of the Empress's power. She is worthy of being an Empress. She has both beauty and power. The prince also thinks that the Empress is indeed worthy of her reputation. But it is a pity she is to be married to that person. In the same moment, one of the men sitting close to the prince says to him that he heard the prince was secretly admiring the Empress for a long time. In his opinion, only he, the dignified third prince, is worthy of her. This man's name is Quang Shu, and he is also an Earth King realm cultivator and the Quang Shu sect master. He adds that if he were the prince, he would definitely not accept watching the Empress marry that loser, Ning Tian. After hearing his words, Prince Lin Xiaoyao is really angry, but he can't do anything. He says, how can he easily interfere in her affairs? But he really wants to see what this loser who dares to marry her looks like. On the other side, the old man says loudly that the Empress has arrived, and now let's welcome the husband, Ning Tian. After hearing Ning Tian's name, people start talking. One of them says that he heard the chosen husband is a low-level disciple of the sect. Another one says his cultivation level seems to be only a 1-star warrior, and apart from his looks, he has nothing else. The old man asks Ning Tian to come, but he is nowhere to be seen. People wonder why that loser isn't here yet and dares to be late for the ceremony. Some time later, Ning Tian arrives at the ceremony, saying no one told him this place would be tens of thousands of meters away from where he lives, and he ran like crazy. Fortunately, his cultivation has improved a lot. If it were still the same, he wouldn't be able to reach the palace even if he ran for a day. He asks for forgiveness from everyone and says, this is my first time getting married, so I have no experience. Please forgive me. Hearing Ning Tian's words, people get really surprised, thinking, what did he just say? Please forgive me for getting married for the first time. This guy is so rude. They heard Ning Tian is a handyman of the sect, so he really doesn't have any manners. Prince Lin Xiaoyao gets really angry. He stands from his seat and says to Ning Tian, so reckless. You have made the Empress wait for a long time in vain, and you dare give us that excuse. After hearing this, Ning Tian asks Prince Lin Xiaoyao if he is sick, questioning why he is shouting during their wedding. Ning Tian warns not to delay them any longer, or they won't be able to go on with their wedding festivities again. System notifications pop up one by one, saying, "You have shocked the third prince, you have shocked the holy maid of Tianchai, you have shocked the holy lord of light." The system congratulates Ningtian for completing the shocking of everyone present, and he has obtained the Earth-level martial arts skill, Heavenly Demonic Palm. Comprehension of martial arts is being increased by tenfold. Heavenly Demonic Palm comprehension is complete, and the skill has been acquired. Ningtian is really happy because, for him, this wedding venue is a huge treasure trove. Even the Heavenly Demonic Palm was learned instantly. Prince Lin Xiaoyao is really angry, thinking why Empress Luo Wuking chose Ningtian. Is he more handsome than me? In terms of power, I can definitely crush him. I am the third prince of Dongxing. Can't I compare to an ant like a handyman? So he stands from his seat and asks Ningtian to stop. He wants to uphold the dignity of the Empress and challenges Ningtian to a duel. Does he dare to accept? People are saying that, in terms of power, the third prince is the most outstanding of the younger generation. He might be unwilling. Also, who would think the Empress would choose someone so different from her? An Earth King cultivator will crush a one-star warrior. Prince Lin Xiaoyao says that he won't bully Ningtian. He can use only half of his power, and if Ningtian is a man, he should accept the challenge. He is thinking that even with half of his power, he will defeat this trash easily. As long as Ningtian agrees, he can use this to show off in front of the Empress. One of the old men says that this is the third prince. Even if he uses half of his power, he is still far superior to the average person. There will be a good show. Ningtian is really happy. He says with a big smile that he will accept his challenge. With this, he can use this guy to shock the strong people here. Prince Lin says to Ningtian, "You don't seem to want to live. Even if you use half of your power, it's still enough to crush you." He asks Ningtian to let him see how virtuous he is to be worthy of Empress Luo. One of the men standing behind Prince Lin says, "What the prince is saying makes sense. The Empress should be with someone powerful like the prince." Ningtian is really happy, thinking since Prince Lin is looking for a fight, he can't blame him for this. So Ningtian says to Prince Lin that he is a guest from far away, so he can attack first. Prince Lin replies, if he made the first move, he would be laughed at by everyone. I'd better let Ningtian go first. Ningtian, who is really happy because that's what he was waiting for, politely says that he will not hold back and starts preparing his powerful move. Prince Lin comments on Ningtian's move, saying the stance of his move is really bad and asks if this is his aura. He remarks that Ningtian's move is so laughable. The Heavenly Demonic Sect Great Elder comments on Ningtian, saying it's a pity the majesty of the sect that has been established over the years will be thrown away by that trash. The second elder also says that this little handyman is so unstable, he fell into the trap of provocation in a few words. He wonders why the Empress isn't taking action, making him anxious. Ningtian completes preparing his move, saying to Prince Lin that his palm skill is really not that great, but it's enough to crush Prince Lin, and he starts attacking. On the other side, Prince Lin is smiling, saying to Ningtian that his skills are a bluff, not even a fart. With Ningtian's level, the skill he can produce is not even good. But before Prince Lin can complete his words, Ningtian attacks him with his Heavenly Demonic Palm skill. Prince Lin, thinking he is superior to Ningtian, gets really surprised after witnessing Ningtian's attack. The Heavenly Demon Elders also get shocked after seeing Ningtian using the Heavenly Demonic Palm and wonder how he learned this skill. On the other side, Prince Lin thinks Ningtian is just a warrior realm cultivator, so how can he master an earth-level skill? He must remove the seal to save his life. After struggling for some time, he can't remove his seal, thinking, why is it not working? Why can't he remove his seal? Suddenly, he realizes it can be Empress Luo who is doing this. He turns his head to Empress Luo, thinking it's the Empress who is suppressing him. Empress Luo, sitting in her throne, uses some kind of spell to seal Prince Lin's cultivation. Prince Lin, overpowered by Ningtian, thinks why Empress Luo is helping Ningtian, considering him just trash, a handyman. Why can he defeat him? All the people present there get really surprised, thinking, what just happened? The prince, actually, lost to loser Ningtian. It looked like this piece of trash used the Heavenly Demonic Palm, a martial arts skill of the Heavenly Demonic Sect. But they are really confused about how he learned it. The elders also stand from their seats, saying, how can this be? This kid actually won. He didn't embarrass us. Empress Luo also thought that Ningtian actually is the key to the Heavenly Demonic Manual. She also thinks about what Ningtian did with him in the afternoon, daring to do this to him. But suddenly she realizes, could it have been him who caused his aura to disappear back then? On the other side, Ningtian, who is really happy after defeating Prince Lin, has shocked everyone present there. He is happy because this is the effect he wanted. The system congratulates Ningtian for shocking the whole audience and gives him the shocking achievement. He gets the charming physique as a reward, allowing him to charm everyone effortlessly. After getting this skill, everyone present there is attracted to Ningtian, saying suddenly he looks so handsome. Another one says his heart is beating fast, and a male cultivator is also affected by Ningtian's skill. One of the old men says to Ningtian if he is in need of a male cultivation partner. Ningtian, who is standing there, wonders what's happening and asks the system what he's doing. He mentions that it's his wedding, and Empress Luo is still watching from above. Ningtian turns his head to Empress Luo, thinking why she is not responding. Could it be that his charm doesn't affect her? Suddenly, Ningtian hears a voice from behind. It's Prince Lin. He asks Ningtian how he defeated him, as everyone said Ningtian was trash. After hearing Prince's words, Ningtian responds that he is indeed trash. This surprises everyone, and they question what he means. Did this guy go crazy? Ningtian explains that as a cultivator, you can't expect to achieve instant success. If that's not trash, then what is it? Ningtian shocks everyone again, making them ponder how difficult it is to reach the top in one step. How many people have been able to do this by now? Another person says, according to Ningtian, they, the holy sons and princes, are useless. Ningtian ignores them and continues, stating how vast the world is and how small people are. There must be people in this world so strong they can fly into the sky, escape from the earth, move mountains and seas, and turn over clouds and rain. They can do anything. He would rather be able to recognize his place, but they are arrogant with their small achievements. In his opinion, they are just self-proclaimed geniuses. With one word, Ningtian breaks their hearts, and as long as they can't reach the sky in one step, they're useless. It's a ruthless method, and the holy sons and princes, usually treated as geniuses, get furious. They think if Ningtian is really just a small handyman, why does he have the grace of a saint? After defeating Prince Lin, Ningtian is standing in the heavenly demonic palace. One of the elders asks Ningtian where he learned the palm skill because if Ningtian continues to talk, he is afraid the Tao hearts of the holy sons and princes will shatter. Ningtian, standing there, replies that he learned this from the Buddha scripture pavilion because he can't tell them about the system. One of the elders agrees with him, stating that the pavilion is indeed the sect's, but he is really curious and asks Ningtian how long it took him to master it. Ningtian, confused, decides to say a longer period because saying it only took 1 minute would be too much. So he replies to the elder that he only took 1 day to master this skill. Everyone present is shocked, saying how can he master this skill in just 1 day? Ningtian is surprised after seeing their reaction, thinking, is it such a surprise? He even made it sound more difficult than it really is. One of the elders comes to Ningtian, explaining to him that it is very hard to practice this skill. Ordinary people may not be able to practice it successfully even after a whole lifetime. Even the very talented Empress took 3 days. How can someone like Ningtian, who was a loser not long ago, actually master this really hard skill in just 1 day? The elder grabs Ningtian's shoulder and says that their sect finally has a disciple who is talented enough to rival the Empress. What an eye-opener. People attending the Empress's wedding are saying that just a second ago, he said he could not reach the sky in 1 step and didn't dare call himself a genius. But he has mastered a very hard skill in 1 day. He is simply a genius among geniuses. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, saying that Ningtian has shocked the elders of the heavenly demonic sect, and he is rewarded with 1,000 aura cultivation. After receiving the aura cultivation skill, a large amount of aura enters his body. The elders start crying after seeing that Ningtian is not a loser, but a genius among geniuses. These are just minor things, the major one can't be delayed. So he asks another elder to start Ningtian and Empress Luo's wedding ceremony. The time has come. He asks the newlyweds to worship heaven and earth. People are saying that the Empress is even prettier dressed in red. Another one says to Ningtian that if only they met earlier, she would be marrying him. They are such a good match. A handsome man and a pretty woman, a match made in heaven. After seeing how they are treating him now, Ningtian thinks that people called him trash just now, but now they are praising him. It seems like no matter which world he is in, respecting the strong is true everywhere. Empress Luo thinks that she hopes everything will be just like the demon statue said. If she marries him, she can get the manual. A few months ago, at the heavenly demonic sect back mountain forbidden region, in the evening, Empress Luo heads to the secret cave. After a moment, she reaches the end of the cave where there is a really big statue. She asks that statue if she marries this loser Ningtian, will it give her the manual as promised? Because in half a year, the 5 emperors, 3 lords, and 2 emperors will come to besiege their sect. Only by reaching the god realm can she be strong enough to fight them. If she wants to break through, she must first have the path to becoming a god. It is said this can be obtained by practicing the manual. She tells that thousands of years ago, according to the sect's canon law, for the sect leader to obtain the manual, they have to marry someone with the godly physique. She says that even if Ningtian is a loser who can't cultivate, she will still marry him because she won't let her sect collapse. In the present time, people are praising them, saying the Empress is so insightful. Another man also agrees with him, saying that's right, he has been a fool. The more they look at Ningtian, the husband becomes more and more distinguished. Elders also think, in a few years, our sect will give birth to another powerful Emperor Realm Cultivator. With his talent, he is definitely worthy of the Empress. At the same moment, Quang Shu Sect Master, who is really surprised after seeing what happened, says without further ado, he will report this to the Alliance leader. In the heavenly spiritual realm, right out Alliance, they are talking that the demon domain is going on a rampage these days, and the demons are led by that heavenly demonic sect. They think Empress Luo Wuking's beheading all this. One of the old men asks how the plans are going. He is Emperor Zheng Tian, the leader of the Righteous Alliance. Elder Zhu explains that everything is ready, they are just waiting for his order. The female demon won't know what kind of drug is in the gourd. She suddenly got married to a good-for-nothing handyman, so there is a lot of excitement in the sect today. Emperor Zheng says that he has also heard about this. Quang Shu also just contacted him. He asks other elders to listen together. They get a spiritual item with which they can talk to anyone. Suddenly, a blue portal pops up where we can see the old man attending Empress Luo's wedding. He says to Emperor Zheng, something huge happened. Empress Luo deceived them all. The person she married is not a piece of trash but a peerless genius. They get really surprised, thinking, what did he just say? But he doesn't stop there. He also explains that the man's name is Ningtian. He claims to be a useless handyman. I did what you asked and made Prince Lin have a duel with that loser. But who would have guessed he was not trash? He even defeated the prince with one palm. He learned the palm in one day. With one word, he broke the hearts of everyone. The ones who deem themselves as geniuses. One elder says to achieve that is a legendary miracle. Another one says to his leader that they have to do something. This man must be taken seriously. The alliance leader break the blue crystal, saying they must find out details about Ningtian. The heavenly demonic sect must be eradicated, or they will be in big trouble. In the evening, in the Empress's bedroom, Ningtian, after completing the wedding ceremony, is thinking. Everyone in the hall reacted to the godly physique, but it didn't work on Empress Luo. He became her husband out of nowhere. If the system didn't come around, he doesn't know how miserable that would have been. Who knows how much she will visit him in the future. If he wants to gain a foothold in this world, he has to use his power. So Ningtian asks the system to activate Charming Physique, thinking, while no one else is around, let me try to shock you again. Let's see if it's the same as during the day. So he gets close to the Empress and activates his Charming Physique, saying, a moment of a single spring night is worth 1,000 pieces of gold, and asks the Empress if they should do what they need to do. But this doesn't work on Empress. She says she knows of Ningtian's special physique. He can do this with some little girls, but he can't handle her. Ningtian, who knows this is not going to work on her, says, as expected of the Empress, her heart has reached an indestructible level. Suddenly, Empress Luo comes to Ningtian, removes his clothes, and says to him, you want to do it, but don't dare to. Ningtian, after getting humiliated, says to her, who doesn't dare? Empress Luo replies that who else is here but him. Ningtian, after hearing Empress's words, says to her, for the sake of my dignity, I will prove myself right now. But suddenly he can't move. He asks Empress Luo, what did you do to me? Empress Luo replies that she did nothing. She just suppressed Ningtian with a little bit of aura and asks him to sleep standing up tonight. Ningtian, who is really angry, asks Empress Luo to let him go. They shouldn't compete like this. Let's fight on the bed with real swords and guns. But Empress Luo is already in deep sleep, and Ningtian realizes it seems like she is not planning to let him go today. There's no way, the gap between us is too big. So he thought, let's just practice. Because sooner or later, he will let her know that the world is big, the earth is big, but her husband is the biggest. So he starts cultivating. In the next morning, Ningtian, after cultivating the whole night, says Empress Luo is a ruthless woman as she made him stand the entire night. He cultivated all night and reached the 7-star Black Warrior, but it's still only an upgrade of 1 star. However, he thinks that he is not fast enough and needs to increase his cultivation speed. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, asking Ningtian to choose a place with abundant aura to cultivate. He remembers a place with abundant aura based on his memories and heads toward the primary cultivation ground where all the aura of the heavenly demonic sect is gathered. providing perfect feng shui for accelerated cultivation. Ningtian is cultivating there, and other sect disciples notice him. He's the most popular person in the sect currently, and they are shocked after seeing how quickly he absorbs aura, thinking he is clearly a cultivation genius. Ningtian is really happy about the abundant and pure aura in the cultivation ground. But for him, it's still not fast enough. Another disciple gets really surprised after hearing Ningtian say that cultivation speed is not fast enough, as the aura is slowly entering his body. So, Ningtian releases his tenfold cultivation power, fully activating his tenfold aura absorption skill, and starts absorbing all the aura from the primary cultivation demonic sect. The ground starts shaking, and sect disciples are really surprised because Ningtian is absorbing the aura of the whole cultivation ground. A system notification pops up, stating that Ningtian shocked a group of disciples and gained a black-ranked movement technique, Water Dragon Step, as a reward. He successfully cultivates Water Dragon Step at tenfold speed in just seconds. After receiving Water Dragon Step, Ningtian thinks it sounds pretty good, as it will help him make his entry and exit smoothly. With a lot of aura stored in his body, he realizes that without the addition of skills, his strength hasn't improved. So, he asks one of his female fellow disciples where the sect's techniques are located. She replies that they are at the scripture depository, which is open today. Ningtian thanks her and starts heading toward the scripture depository. Suddenly, he stops and asks the female disciple why she called him patriarch. She blushes and explains that, according to the sect's rules, the one who marries the Empress is named the patriarch. Ningtian, after hearing this, says to her that he doesn't like the title patriarch as it sounds too old. Instantly, he asks her to call him older brother. After hearing this, everyone gets really shocked, thinking that Ningtian is kind and gentle. Ningtian takes his leave and starts heading toward the scripture depository. He doesn't want to disturb their cultivation training anymore. However, the aura has already been sucked dry by Ningtian, and they can't train anymore. A moment later, Ningtian reaches the heavenly demonic sect inside the scripture depository. However, he sees a really long queue in front of the depository, so he asks one of the old men if they all want to enter the depository. He questions if such a long queue will last until the horse month of the monkey year. The old man replies, saying that this depository is full of techniques and skills that successive leaders have searched for all their lives, so it's not surprising there would be a queue for 3 days and 3 nights. However, he gets really surprised after finding out that Ningtian is the Empress's husband. He screams loudly, "Patriarch!" After hearing this, female disciples start gathering around Ningtian, attracted to his charm. Male disciples are really jealous of Ningtian, saying that he is indeed very charming. Not only did he marry the Empress, but he has also captured the hearts of many female disciples. Damn it, I wish I could have 1/10 of his charisma. Suddenly, someone comes and asks everyone why there's a lot of noise in front of the depository. Are there no rules? It's heavenly demonic sect Elder Guyan. Everyone is really afraid of him, as he's known to be old-fashioned and strict. He was sent to the depository because he contradicted the Empress. If he stares at you, you will definitely be left with nothing. But suddenly, he bows his head in front of Ningtian, saying, "Guyan greets the patriarch." After seeing this, everyone gets really shocked, asking if he's possessed by evil spirits. It's the first time they have seen him so respectful. However, Ningtian is now famous in the sect, and his strength is unfathomable. It's normal for Elder Guyan to be impressed by him, but they're really curious if Ningtian is going to the depository. So, Elder Guyan gives the key to access all the floors of the depository so Ningtian can view everything. But Ningtian is really confused, thinking how Elder Gu can be strict when he's handling things so well. He asks Elder Gu if he just needs to hold on to this ancient plate to access all the floors of the depository. Elder Gu replies, yes, explaining that the higher he goes, the higher the level of the skills. Correspondingly, the requirements for strength are also higher. So, Elder Gu asks Ningtian which floor he wants to go to. However, Ningtian has already left, saying, of course, I want to go to the 5th floor. Everyone gets really shocked at Ningtian's sudden decision because, in terms of strength, the 3rd is Ningtian's limit. Even the most outstanding disciples can only go to the 4th. Except for the Empress, the Great Elder, and the Supreme Elder, no one else has been to the 5th floor. Elder Gu is also surprised after seeing this, thinking he's worthy of being the patriarch who broke many Dao hearts with one word. He is indeed unfathomable. Ningtian, after reaching the 5th floor, has a mountain of aura increasing in his body right now. Naturally, he has to choose the best techniques to utilize this aura. So, he opens the 5th floor door and starts exploring some good techniques. Black rank technique, star absorbing skill. Elementary earth rank techniques, thunderbolt technique, electricity mastery, spiritual vein opening. Intermediate earth rank techniques, heavenly spirit skill, auxiliary aura absorption speed. Appropriate skills for the opening of meridians that allow aura to flow. The more spiritual veins there are, the faster the aura flows, and so the strength increases. There's a mountain of aura in his body right now. Naturally, he has to choose the best technique. However, he is not satisfied with these low-level techniques because he can only open up a dozen spiritual veins at most with these techniques. It's far from enough. But suddenly, he notices a scroll with blue light. This is an advanced earth rank technique, Demon King's technique. This is what he wants, so he asks the system to use tenfold comprehension on this technique. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, saying, tenfold comprehension of the Demon King's technique. The host is comprehending the Demon King's technique, elementary level reached. The host is comprehending the Demon King's technique, level increased. The host is comprehending the Demon King's technique, pinnacle level reached. The host has fully comprehended the Demon King's technique. Ningtian, after fully comprehending the Demon King's technique, his body starts glowing, electricity surrounding his body. Meanwhile, outside of the depository, everyone is really shocked. After finding that, Ningtian has found an amazing technique. However, everyone is really curious how much he can take on at once. Ningtian receives a sound transmission from Elder Gu. Elder Gu explains that, through the rules in the depository, the ancient plate allows the ones inside to communicate with the outside world. He asks Ningtian if everything is okay, mentioning there was a sudden occurrence, and everyone was worried if he encountered a problem. Ningtian replies, there's indeed a problem. Too few spiritual veins opened. After hearing this, Elder Gu asks Ningtian not to be too depressed. Usually, if he opens more than 10, it's good. However, Ningtian is not satisfied with this. There's still more than half of the aura left in his body, but only 100 of them opened. Elder Gu gets shocked after hearing this. He explains that the limit of the Demon King's technique is 100 veins. Only a heavenly being can achieve this, and he achieved this in only 30 minutes. Elder Gu thinks Ningtian's comprehension skill is incredible. Suddenly, Ningtian gets a system notification that he shocked Elder Gu Yan, and as a reward, he receives a god rank technique. With this technique, he can unlock the Ghoulie physique. According to the system, this world's martial arts are divided into 5 categories from high to low: God, Heaven, Earth, Black, Yellow. The God's record is the strongest God-ranked skill, so he asks the system to cultivate the God's record. The system uses tenfold comprehension to cultivate the God's record. However, he suddenly notices that his absorption of aura is not continuing. Suddenly, he starts feeling pain. Unexpectedly, cultivating a god-ranked skill would dissolve all of his previously developed spiritual veins. It's just like breaking his bones and rebuilding them again. A system notification pops up, saying, the host has comprehended 30% of the god's record. You have reached a minor success, activation of godly physique. Spiritual veins are about to be opened for the host. Ningtian, after seeing this, thinks that even though he has tenfold comprehension, he can still only get to 30%. So he starts cultivating, wanting to see how many spiritual veins this god-ranked skill can open. Meanwhile, outside of the depository, everyone is really surprised after seeing it glowing. One of the disciples asks Elder Gu, what's that? Elder Gu explains that this is a spiritual sea. When cultivating, the aura will gather in the danchan like a stream. The more aura there is, the more beneficial it is to one's cultivation. But only when the amount of aura is huge will a sea be formed. He is really surprised after seeing this, thinking, does Ningtian actually have such high cultivation talent? Suddenly, Ningtian's spiritual sea has soared into the sky. Everyone is really shocked after seeing this. They ask everyone to look. The patriarch and his spiritual sea have soared into the skies. Is the patriarch trying to absorb all of the aura of the heavenly demonic sect? Elder Gu is also really shocked. After seeing Ningtian at such a young age, he already possesses so much aura. It's truly enviable. However, a white-haired old man is coming toward the depository. He is really angry, so he asks everyone, who is coveting the aura of my sect? He is the heavenly demonic sect Supreme Elder, who was cultivating in seclusion. Everyone is thinking, the Supreme Elder must have had a successful breakthrough and reached the Immortal Emperor realm. Elder Gu gives congratulations to the Supreme Elder for breaking through to the Immortal Emperor realm in one fell swoop. Now that you and the Empress are both powerful Immortal Emperor realm cultivators, who would dare to bully our sect? However, they misunderstand everything. The Supreme Elder didn't break through. It was so hard to reach that stage, and suddenly all the aura is being absorbed. How can he break through like this? So he asks Elder Gu who on earth caused this mess. Elder Gu explains, saying, when he was in seclusion for a year and didn't know about it, the source of this strange phenomenon is the Empress husband, the patriarch. Supreme Elder is really surprised after finding out that Empress Luo got married. He asks Elder Gu who her husband is, the Divine Palace's Emperor, or the Holy Mist Lord. Elder Gu replies that her husband is not one of them but a disciple of their sect. Supreme Elder gets really shocked and asks Elder Gu, how can a mere disciple be worthy of her? Being married to an ordinary disciple is not as good as being married to an Emperor Realm cultivator. This is not good for building connections for the sect. But suddenly, Empress Luo arrives and says to Supreme Elder that he is certainly worthy. However, Supreme Elder is not really happy with her answer, saying, you ruthless girl, the Righteous Alliance is eyeing our sect and may besiege us at any time. If you wish to get married, you should have chosen a strong husband. How can you afford to marry such a brat? Empress Luo asks Supreme Elder to please pay attention to what he is saying. She is already the Empress, and he doesn't need to worry about her personal affairs. Everyone is really surprised after seeing this. One of the disciples says to Elder Gu that he didn't expect that the Empress would show no mercy to the Supreme Elder for the sake of the Patriarch. Elder Gu asks him to keep his voice down. If Empress Luo hears him, he will be dead. Suddenly, blue lightning starts surrounding Ningtian from all sides. Everyone is really surprised after Holy Light Thunder Tribulation. Ningtian was just cultivating a new skill. How did it turn into a tribulation? However, after looking carefully, they find out that it's not a thunder tribulation. The thunder dragon is forming and passing through the spiritual sea. He is using it to open up his spiritual veins. Elder Gu is really surprised, thinking, how is that even possible? He has never heard of anyone using the tribulation to open up their spiritual veins. Supreme Elder also gets shocked. He asks Empress Luo if her husband is really just an ordinary disciple. With such talent, it is very possible for him to reach the Emperor realm one day. However, Empress Luo knows that. Is it because of the godly physique that he used this calamity to open up his spiritual veins? If that is so, the road to becoming a god is just around the corner. Suddenly, one of the disciples asks everyone to look up. Ningtian's spiritual sea is turning dim. It's dried up. But what's worse is that if the aura is not enough and the thunder dragon directly enters his body, he will explode and die. After seeing this, Empress Luo starts heading toward Ningtian. She asks everyone to watch from here, don't come too close, she'll go and protect him. She uses her spiritual energy to control the situation. However, she didn't expect that transforming the thunder dragon into spiritual veins would require so much aura. But suddenly, she notices that Ningtian is forcibly absorbing her aura. The Empress is protecting Ningtian. That's the first time it has happened in the demonic sect, except for the ancestors. No one else can enjoy such treatment. However, Empress Luo doesn't like that. Ningtian wants to drain her aura, so the Empress uses all of her Emperor Realm power. She wants to see how much he can absorb. After that, the thunder tribulation starts entering Ningtian's body. Empress Luo, after seeing this, thinks that the thunder tribulation's spiritual veins momentum is indeed out of the ordinary. Suddenly, Empress Luo's clothes got torn because of Ningtian's sudden spiritual energy. Luckily, Ningtian catches her and thanks her for taking off her clothes to protect him. Empress Luo gets embarrassed and asks Ningtian to let her go before she does something. Ningtian takes off his hand from Empress because he doesn't want to die after just opening his spiritual veins. However, he didn't expect her to protect him. It seems like she really doesn't want him to die. After that, everything gets back to normal, the sky clears up. Elder Gu asks Supreme Elder how many spiritual veins he got at his first opening. Supreme Elder replies, saying that he was considered a genius back then, with a total of 80. This kid is extremely talented. He should be able to open up 40 to 50 of them. After hearing this, Elder Gu asks Ningtian how many spiritual veins he opened up. Ningtian asks him to wait, he will check. He says that there is obviously still more than half of the aura left, and he only opened 199 spiritual veins. After hearing this, Supreme Elder gets really shocked, and it was the Thunder Tribulation spiritual veins. Meanwhile, in the Dongxing Kingdom, Imperial Court, Physician Tian Lao is reporting to Dongxing Kingdom Emperor Lin Ba. The place where the tribulation occurred was the Heavenly Demonic Sect. Emperor Lin Ba, after hearing this, says, "It's that Heavenly Demonic Sect again. After my son came back from that sect, he lost his spirit and suffered from worries incurable by medicine. He became like a cripple. He asks Tian Lao to contact the Righteous Alliance immediately to discuss the matter of destroying the heavenly demonic sect. However, Tian Lao is really surprised. He asks Emperor Lin to calm down because if they do something to the heavenly demonic sect, Empress Luo will kill all of them. Nevertheless, Emperor Lin is really angry, saying that the heavenly demonic sect is located in their Dongxing kingdom, and now they are becoming more and more powerful. He has always worried that they would replace the imperial family sooner or later. If they aren't eliminated now, then when? Meanwhile, on the other side, in the Righteous Alliance, the alliance leader is really surprised after seeing such a big thunder tribulation at the heavenly demonic sect. He wonders if Empress Luo broke through to the God realm. Another elder also gets really surprised, questioning if she had broken through. Wouldn't that mean they are going to die if they go to suppress the heavenly demonic sect in 6 months? However, the alliance leader knows that Empress Luo has no way of becoming a god. He questions how can she break through to the god realm and asks other elders if they have forgotten about the battle of the gods thrown hundreds of years ago. Many Emperor Realm experts exhausted their lives trying to become a god. But in the end, they fell down the road of becoming a god and died full of grievance. However, another elder is really curious. The thunder tribulation was so loud this time. It must have alarmed the whole domain. He wonders what could be the source of this phenomenon. The alliance leader tells them that whatever it is doesn't matter, it must have something to do with Empress Luo. Now the threat of the Empress is getting even bigger, and the heavenly demonic sect must be dealt with as soon as possible. Meanwhile, in the heavenly demonic sect, Ningtian successfully opens his spiritual veins. However, Supreme Elder is really shocked. He didn't expect their sect to have such a person. This boy will turn into a sharp weapon in the future, even reaching the god realm. Empress Luo comes close to Ningtian and tears his clothes. Ningtian says to Empress Luo, "Honey, isn't that a little inappropriate? So many disciples and elders are watching." However, she is not doing anything vulgar. She uses her spiritual energy and transfers that into Ningtian's body. Ningtian's body starts feeling really weak, so he asks Empress Luo what she just did. Empress Luo explains that there was still hidden damage left from the thunder tribulation in his body, and she helped him with that. Ningtian thanks Empress Luo, saying, "It turns out my wife was worried about me and wanted to help me heal. I'm so touched, I will definitely." However, Empress Luo uses her spiritual energy and sends Ningtian into the sky, saying, "He talks too much." Elder Gu, after seeing this, asks Empress Luo if the patriarch will be okay. Empress replies, saying she didn't even use 10% of her strength, he won't die. She also warns everyone that no one is allowed to speak of today's events. The ones who spread rumors will be mercilessly killed. Got it. Everyone replies to the Empress, saying they understand. Meanwhile, after Empress Luo sends him flying, Ningtian lands into a hot spring where female sect disciples are taking a bath. Ningtian, after getting hit by Empress, says, "Luo Qingqing, I'm still your husband, how can you throw me so far away?" But suddenly, one of the female disciples asks Ningtian, "Patriarch, why did you come to the hot springs?" Ningtian suddenly realizes he is in the wrong place, thinking, "It's over. My reputation as an upright and proper patriarch will be ruined." Ningtian tries to explain, saying it's an accident and asks them to listen to his explanation. He's not such a person. However, they misunderstand everything, saying, "So it turns out the patriarch is a peeping Tom. If the patriarch really wants to see it, they will show him slowly, there's no need to peep." They start heading toward Ningtian, asking him to let them wipe his back. However, before they catch Ningtian, he jumps into the air, saying he doesn't want this. The girls start crying after seeing Ningtian leave so fast, thinking it would have been wonderful to soak into the hot springs with the patriarch. Ningtian is really angry at Empress Luo because he was almost deemed a perverted peep because of her, and with a godly physique, the situation becomes even more dangerous. Fortunately, he didn't cheat just now, otherwise, his well-being for the rest of his life would be gone for sure. But Empress Luo suddenly appears in front of Ningtian and asks him if he washed up well. She also asks him to follow her. Ningtian is confused and asks Empress Luo where they are going. A moment later, they enter into a cave. Ningtian is really surprised after seeing this. He didn't know the sect had such a place. Empress Luo explains that this is the forbidden region of the sect, the heavenly demonic cave, where the spiritual tablets of all previous leaders are. However, Ningtian is really confused, thinking, why is she telling him this? Meanwhile, Empress Luo is thinking that as long as she gets the manual for becoming a god and breaks through to the god realm, the sect will no longer be afraid of any wicked people. So she asks Ningtian to do something for her. She wants Ningtian to drop some of his blood essence over the stone statue. Ningtian gets really surprised after hearing this because blood essence represents the cultivator's purest energy. In case of dropping it like this, it's used to control the other person, which requires blood essence. Empress Luo, after seeing Ningtian in deep thought, says that he doesn't have to worry. She doesn't wish to harm him. She would have done so a long time ago if she wanted to. How could he survive until now? Ningtian knows that what Empress Luo is saying is true. If she wants to kill him, even with the system, he will still perish. It's unusual for an empress to marry a servant. Now that he's asked by her to do something, it must be important. Does it have to do with the entire sect? Ningtian agrees with Empress Luo, thinking there is a big power gap between them. So let's see what she wants first. He starts preparing his blood essence. After that, he throws his blood essence toward the stone statue. The stone statue absorbs Ningtian's blood essence and starts to glow, but suddenly, a man comes out of the stone statue. He starts laughing loudly, saying, "My heavenly demonic sect, I have awakened." Empress Luo, after seeing this man, asks him if he is the sect's founder. Ningtian is really surprised after seeing him because it's been at least several thousand years since the creation of the sect, and he is still alive? Sect's founder? He is really happy after seeing Ningtian. He was waiting thousands of years for someone with the godly physique, and finally, someone with the godly physique is here. Empress Luo is really confused and asks him what he means by this and where is the manual and the way to become a god that he promised her. The sect founder starts laughing at Empress Luo, saying she is too naive. Does she really think that by practicing with a manual, she will be able to find the way to become a god? That's just a rumor that he made up. Thanks to Empress Luo's foolishness, he was able to find someone with the godly physique, which saved him a lot of effort. Ningtian is really surprised after finding out that Empress Luo married him just for his godly physique to get the manual, the way to become a god. Empress Luo asks him if the ancestral teachings, which have been passed down from generation to generation in the sect, were actually fabricated by her. So, is the purpose helping her regain his body and return to the living? The sect founder replies, saying that's correct. The previous leaders were all useless. None of them could find the godly physique. But luckily for him, Empress Luo did. Empress Luo, after hearing this, gets really angry and asks him if he has a death wish. So she uses her heavenly demonic palm and attacks the sect founder. Ningtian is really surprised after seeing the strength of an Emperor Realm cultivator, thinking the power of her palm is much stronger than the one he could produce. However, Empress Luo's attack doesn't work on him. The sect founder says that, "Little girl, even if you're a strong immortal Emperor Realm cultivator, you can't do a thing to me, your ancestor, because he is currently just in a spiritual state. So he won't be stupid enough to confront her head-on. And this time she is not his target, but Ningtian is his target. So he attacks Ningtian. He wants to take over his body. He starts taking over Ningtian's body, and Empress Luo is really surprised. She starts running toward Ningtian, using his demonic palm to try to save Ningtian. However, it's already too late. The sect founder has already entered into Ningtian's body, and he doesn't want to come out after entering. According to the sect founder, it's rumored that the godly physique is the best of the cultivation physiques. The ancient holy physique, the heavenly palace physique, they are all beneath it. But he suddenly gets really shocked after seeing Ningtian actually has a spiritual sea in his danshan. Thinking it's so unexpected, he seems to have amazing cultivation talent. It seems like I'm rather fortunate, but I'm really confused and wondering where does this thunder come from in my spiritual sea. However, I suddenly get really shocked after seeing a thunder dragon's spiritual vein. I have never seen a cultivator with spiritual veins that turn into a thunder dragon. Since ancient times, thunder and lightning have been the nemesis of the spirit. The slightest carelessness can lead the spirit to fly away. I can't stay in this body, so I try to escape from Ningtian's body, but suddenly I hear a voice. This is Ningtian's voice. He says to the sect founder that now that he is inside, it's not so easy to get out. The old man, the sect founder, gets really scared. He doesn't know that Ningtian actually bested him like this. He wonders if Ningtian must have known that his spiritual state is afraid of thunder and lightning the most. With the Thunder Dragon's spiritual vein, it is impossible to be taken by force, so he let him in on purpose. So vicious, what a remarkable method. Suddenly, Ning Tian gets a system notification, saying he has shocked the heavenly demon. Reward: Spirit Destruction Skill. Destroy the spirit, convert the spirit's power into his own, and get stronger. He is really surprised after getting this skill, thinking that's interesting. So he comes close to the heavenly demon, saying he is not so arrogant now. The heavenly demon gets really angry, stating, "You brat, even if I'm just a spirit right now, I'm still in the immortal emperor realm. How can I be captured like this?" So he uses his heavenly demonic palm skill and attacks Ning Tian. However, Ning Tian uses his thunder dragon veins and stops the heavenly demon's attack. The heavenly demon is confused and wonders how is this possible. However, Ning Tian uses his spirit destruction skill, heavenly demonic 13 forms, that he got from the system. He uses this skill to suppress the heavenly demon's spirit. Heavenly demon, after his spirit suppressed by Ning Tian, can't exert half of his power. Ning Tian asks heavenly demon to stop struggling and just turn into power for his godly physique. Heavenly demon is really angry, saying to Ning Tian that he will kill him. However, Ning Tian doesn't care. He orders his thunder spiritual veins to devour him. Thunder spiritual veins start attacking heavenly demon's spiritual body and devouring him. Heavenly demon starts crying, saying he doesn't want to die and asks Ning Tian to spare his life. However, Ning Tian doesn't listen. Thunder spiritual veins continue attacking him. Meanwhile, outside, Empress Luo is really disappointed after finding out that the manual to become a god was all a rumor. All of it was just a scam. She wonders that Ning Tian has touched her body and she can't let him live. But suddenly, she says to forget it. She was the one being deceived, and she can't let him be taken by the heavenly demon in front of her own eyes. So she tries to use her spiritual energy to save Ning Tian's life. However, before she can use her spiritual energy, suddenly the barrier that surrounds Ning Tian starts breaking, and Ning Tian comes out of it. Empress Luo asks him if he wasn't possessed after all. After all, the ancestor is a strong cultivator in the immortal emperor realm, and Ning Tian is just a black warrior realm, and he absorbed all the power of the heavenly demon's spirit. Ning Tian, after laughing, asks Empress Luo if, with so much spiritual power, he'll get a lot of aura right. But suddenly, a system notification pops up, saying the host has crossed the realm boundary after forcibly absorbing the spiritual power of a strong cultivator in the immortal emperor realm. Because of the difficulty of the absorption, self-destruction is about to happen. Ning Tian's body starts getting really hot. His spiritual sea is boiling like lava, and he starts experiencing a lot of pain. He's going to explode. But luckily, Empress Luo is there. She starts kissing Ning Tian to suppress the violent spiritual power in his body. She asks Ning Tian to stay quiet if he doesn't wish to explode. Ning Tian comes to know that Empress Luo is helping him to suppress the violent spiritual power in his body. An hour later, Empress Luo successfully suppresses the violent spiritual energy in Ning Tian's body. She pushes him back and says it's all done now. However, Ning Tian starts blushing, thinking that although the process was exciting, it was a bit abrupt. After that, Empress Luo gets a pill and gives it to Ning Tian. He is curious and asks Empress Luo what it is. She explains that it's the spirit pearl formed with the energy of the spirit, containing the aura of the heavenly demon. He can use this as a daily absorption cultivation tool. She also warns Ning Tian that his cultivation must be gradual and continuous. He must not absorb too much at one go. She won't be there to save him every time he is in danger. Ning Tian thanks his wife and asks her not to worry. He will do as she says. However, he is really worried and asks Empress Luo if now that they have destroyed the heavenly demon, doesn't that count as deceiving their ancestor? But Empress Luo doesn't care. She uses her spiritual energy and destroys the heavenly demon statue, saying that this guy has been deceiving generations of heavenly demonic sex leaders for his own selfish gains. A person who is not worthy of being a member of the heavenly demonic sect can't be said to have deceived anyone. However, she did not expect the manual to become a god to be a fabricated lie. Without guidance on how to become a god, there is no way for her to break through. She is really worried about what they will do if the Righteous Alliance attacks. However, there's nothing they can do about it. If their people come, they will block them with all their might. Even if the heavenly demonic sect is destroyed, she will still make the culprits suffer in the future. But suddenly, Ningtian says to Empress Luo that he's going to break through. Empress Luo is really surprised, thinking that this is the power of the godly physique. Within a few days, he had several breakthroughs in succession. Such speed is truly a rare sight. So Empress Luo starts going out of the cave, saying she will leave him to cultivate in peace. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, congratulating Ningtian for breaking through to the 8-star Black Warrior realm and the 9-star Black Warrior realm. Ningtian has undergone a breakthrough once again, reaching the 1-star spiritual realm. After entering the spiritual realm, the difficulty of cultivation greatly increases, and the aura needed will also increase. But for Ningtian, no matter what happens in the future, he has to stabilize his foundation first. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Shadow Demonic Sect receives information that Yin Sanshi is here to meet the sect leader. The sect leader is really happy to find out that Sanshi has broken through again. Sanshi replies that he has already reached the peak of the spiritual realm and is just one step away from entering the Earth King realm. The sect leader is really impressed. At only 20 years old, Sanshi can be compared to those elders around 50 years old. With Sanshi's potential, the Shadow Demonic Sect has found its successor. However, the sect leader is really angry that their sect is being suppressed by the Heavenly Demonic Sect. They will never be able to get ahead like this. Since ancient times, the demons have respected the strong, but the Heavenly Demonic Sect has their powerful Empress who has been their leader for hundreds of years. The Heavenly Demonic Sect follows the demonic path and also cultivates demonic arts. However, he doesn't like Empress Luo, saying that a woman with a kind heart and a soft hand cannot lead the people of the demonic path. The leader of the demonic path should be their Shadow Demonic Sect. He tells Sanshi that in 3 days, the Heavenly Demonic Sect will be holding a Tao conference, and he will be there as a representative of their sect. He must remember that his presence there is to elevate their sect's reputation. Sanshi doesn't understand and asks the sect leader what he means. The sect leader explains that everyone in the demonic path has been unsatisfied with the Empress for a long time. In addition, not long ago, dark clouds covered the sun, and a thunder tribulation occurred. Many people were left restless, so they will send their geniuses there. Sanshi understands and asks the sect leader if he wants to say that they must trample the disciples of the Heavenly Demonic Sect under their feet in front of everyone. Then the Empress will suffer a great loss. The sect leader replies, "Exactly, let's see how she can hold on to her position as the leader of the demonic path when that happens." Meanwhile, Ningtian, after successfully cultivating, says he was lucky this time. The heavenly demon was just in a spiritual state, and he happened to be restrained by the thunder and lightning. Otherwise, he might have been killed by him. However, according to what he's heard, the various forces are constantly fighting. The sect will definitely encounter dangerous situations in the future, so Ningtian takes the pill that Empress Luo gave him. Thinking she was right, there won't be someone to help him every time there is danger. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, saying to Ningtian that the night of the full moon is full of aura, and it's a good time to cultivate. He has to work hard and increase his strength as soon as possible. So he climbs to Moonlight Cliff and starts cultivating. Meanwhile, some disciples are passing by and get really surprised after seeing someone cultivating on Moonlight Cliff so late. However, they notice that he is the patriarch. A female disciple is impressed with Ningtian, noting that on a full moon night, he is cultivating here instead of enjoying the night with his empress. He is so hardworking. She says, "Men who work hard are so handsome." Male disciples also get motivated after seeing Ningtian working so hard, realizing they can't fall behind. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, stating that Ning Tian has shocked all the disciples and motivated them to cultivate, rewarding him with tenfold moonlight aura absorption speed. Ning Tian is confused about why they are shocked, but decides to cultivate in peace, asking the system to start tenfold moonlight aura absorption. The system begins the tenfold moonlight aura absorption speed, and moonlight aura starts gathering in Ning Tian's body. Everyone is really surprised after seeing even the moonlight going towards Ning Tian, thinking the patriarch is truly divine. Suddenly, the great elder arrives and asks the disciples why they are gathered together in the middle of the night. One of the female disciples asks the great elder to keep his voice down, not wanting to disturb the patriarch's cultivation. The great elder is confused, but when he turns his head up, he gets really shocked, asking if his eyes are seeing right. The patriarch is actually cultivating, and so are the other disciples. A system notification pops up, congratulating Ning Tian for breaking through again and reaching the 2-star spiritual realm. Ning Tian is really happy, saying that if he continues like this, he should be able to reach the Earth King realm within 2 months. The great elder is shocked at Ning Tian's cultivation speed, considering it took him 2 years to break through from the spiritual realm to the Earth King realm. He thinks this abnormal brat is truly a genius. However, suddenly, one disciple gets really surprised and asks everyone to look at what is on the patriarch. Ning Tian's whole body starts glowing, and a system notification pops up, saying he shocked all the disciples and the great elder, rewarding him with faith cultivation and faith aura cultivation. Faith cultivation. When surrounded by followers and cultivating with them, the followers' cultivation speed doubles, and the aura cultivated by them replenishes the host. Ning Tian is really curious after seeing this. Replenishing the host sounds good, and there's no shortage of followers. However, if he can get the great elder too, with his strength, the aura replenishing him will be even stronger. So he comes close to the great elder and says, "Great elder, I saw the night sky, and the moonlight tonight is particularly bright. The aura is also abundant. Why don't we cultivate together? Maybe we can gain a lot." However, the great elder tells Ning Tian that there's no need. He has somewhere else to be. In his former days, the moonlight was the same, and he questions what he could gain from this. Nonetheless, many disciples are really shocked after cultivating with Ning Tian in moonlight and breaking through, saying, "The patriarch is truly amazing." The great elder is shocked, wondering what kind of luck they had tonight. Not only collective cultivation, but even a collective breakthrough. He controls his expression and agrees to join in, sitting down with the disciples and asking Ning Tian what to do. However, it's really weird the great elder doesn't feel anything special. One disciple explains that the great elder needs to shout, "The patriarch is the coolest" first. The great elder is angry, stating as the heavenly demonic sect's great elder, he can't say such shameless words. Still, he has no other choice, so he reluctantly raises his hand and says, "The patriarch is the coolest." Suddenly, his body starts glowing, the aura entering his body doubles, and he adds, "The patriarch is truly the coolest." Ning Tian, with the aura of the moonlight, the pearl, and the power of faith, indeed achieves a greater effect. The great elder is really happy, his eyes filled with tears, saying, "With the patriarch here, the heavens have truly blessed our sect." After that, in the heavenly demonic palace, the great elder greets the Empress and asks for forgiveness for coming late. Empress Luo is curious and asks what happened. The great elder explains that he followed the patriarch to cultivate at Moonlight Cliff last night, causing him to be late. Other elders are confused, stating he can't cultivate with the patriarch as he is only in the Black Warrior realm. The great elder insists they don't understand what he means. He cultivated with the patriarch, and the aura was more abundant and effective than usual. Although there hasn't been a breakthrough yet, his aura has definitely consolidated a lot. Another elder also asks the great elder to take them with him next time. However, Empress Luo is not happy with Ning Tian. He didn't come back all night and caused such a fuss. She instructs everyone to get back to business, explaining that the Tao conference is about to begin soon, and at that time countless geniuses will come to their sect. Even if it's a friendly matter, the disciples of the heavenly demonic sect must not fall behind others. Empress Luo asks all the elders if they understand, and everyone agrees. 3 days later, disciples from another sect start coming to the heavenly demonic sect. The heavenly demonic sect disciples are really surprised after seeing so many people at the conference this time. Even the 3 great demonic geniuses are here. Ling Ao, the genius of the heaven-soaring sect, is a genius swordsman, cool and calm, rumored to be the young master of the sect. Yin Sanshi, the chief disciple of the shadow demonic sect, is vicious and once slaughtered a whole village on his own. However, the shadow demonic sect and the heavenly demonic sect have always been at odds, making it difficult to say if he's here with good intentions or if there's something else brewing. Suddenly, some disciples start smelling something nice. She is the saint of Yaechi. They have no disputes with anyone and didn't come to the Empress's wedding either. But this time, the saint of Yaechi sends her saint to participate. Lai Changshen welcomes everyone to the heavenly demonic sect. He will take them to the conference stage. However, the saint from Yaechi is really curious and asks Lai Chang's senior brother why many disciples of the heavenly demonic sect are cultivating on the cliff peak from a distance. Lai Changsheng replies, saying that's their patriarch who is leading them. Everyone gets really shocked after hearing this. Ling Ao asks him that Ning Tian is just in the spiritual realm. He can't even take care of himself and is leading others. That's nonsense. However, they don't care because, thanks to Ning Tian, they successfully broke through. After seeing so many geniuses, Ning Tian asks his fellow disciples if he can leave. He could miss this chance to improve his skills. A moment later on the conference stage, the first one is from the Great Mountain Sect. After seeing his power, he says the Great Mountain Sect's power is infinite. Please guide me, Heavenly Demonic Sect's senior brother. Heavenly Demonic Sect's disciple responds, of course, junior brother Lai. I will gladly guide you. He then transforms his body and destroys the really big stone place in the conference stage. The Great Elder is really happy, saying they have elite disciples, so they will definitely achieve total victory in this conference. However, Empress Luo asks him not to be too happy, as the 3 most difficult opponents haven't taken the stage yet. But suddenly, Ning Tian appears behind Empress Luo and asks her if he can see them the 3 most difficult opponents. Yin Sanshi enters the conference stage and says, some people cultivate with the Tao of swords, some with the Tao of music. Each path of the Tao has its own characteristics. I am Yin Sanshi, and I don't care about any of them today. Is there anyone who is going to talk about what Tao is? Everyone is really surprised, wondering if the shadow demonic sect is here to cause trouble. What is this question even? The Tao is truly mysterious. No one can solve this question. No one has thought of the answer for thousands of years. Sanchi is thinking that today he will embarrass the heavenly demonic sect on stage. However, according to Empress Luo, it is said that if one understands even a bit of the Tao, they can break through without even cultivating. But she knows the shadow demonic sect has come prepared today. Still, she can't do anything. However, heavenly demonic sect elders are really angry, wondering what they should do. Should they drive him away for causing trouble? But they can't do this. If they do, their sect will lose face. This is what the shadow demonic sect is waiting for. Another elder suggests admitting defeat today and letting them slap them in the face like this. Ning Tian, after seeing this, asks Empress Luo if all the shadow demonic sect disciples are sisses like him. Such a pity. Just like a woman in men's clothes. Sanchi, after seeing Ning Tian, wonders to be so close to Empress Luo. He must be the patriarch, thinking he is such a worthless man for her. However, he ignores Ning Tian's words and asks again if there is no one in the entire heavenly demonic sect who can answer him. Ning Tian once again calls him a sissy, saying, is such a simple question worthy of being asked at a Tao conference?